Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Master Sight. Today we have Game 3 of Crossroads. It'll be my Elves versus Matt Griffin's Salamanders. Matt Griffin is one of the Nerdhammer guys. He's a name that I've definitely heard before, but like many people at Crossroads, I've heard lots of names, haven't been able to put faces to names. So, really glad to be able to play Matt, and it's gonna be a great game. So let's go ahead, hop into Matt's Salamander list. He has a horde of Salamander Primes, a regiment of the Lancers with Brute Sharpness, double Scorchwing Horde, two hordes of Rhino Cav, triple Commandant, triple Skylords, and Rakaz. 13 drops, 26 unit strength. Nice and easy, low magic items, just the one on the Lancers, which I think is a great option for them. Yeah, I like Matt's list a lot. Triple Skylords is my favorite way to run Salamanders, so much respect to that. Lancers are something you don't see too often, but they do extremely well with a magic item, so I like that. I can respect only two Scorchwing hordes, so and then Rhinosaur Cav are excellent. The Commandants are something that I haven't personally played with a whole lot, but definitely see the potential of them. And you know what? We'll just get into the game and see how they do here. So Matt here was in the middle of moving turn one when I surprised him with the picture. So a little bit blurry. Sorry, Matt. But Matt won the roll off for first turn. So we'll take a look at the board here and everything. So Matt won the ability to choose opponents. So he chose me, which means I get the scenario. And I forget the lists of scenarios I had, the options to choose from, but I chose Raze. Um, my thought process with that is I don't think there's really anything that he wants to put into a horde of Seaguard, and I felt like I could, use them to hold up. I wasn't terribly afraid of his shooting potential. I felt like I outshot him. So I wanted him to have to come to me and hopefully get good positions with the Dracons to force flanks or to, force him to say, I'm going to go get the objective. He gets it, but he's going to sacrifice a unit to do it. So, um, yeah, I would choose differently after actually the game here. But either way, chose Raze, so we're gonna live with it. We're gonna go with it. So terrain wise, we got the impassables towards the middle here. We got forests and center, bottom left, top right, top center. Hill left and right, flats. There's one here. There's one here. Obstacles. There's one kind of in the deployment zone way over there. And then I think there's one jetting out right here behind this building. Um, yeah. And then deployment wise, I went pretty basic, pretty standard. Let's see here. Anyway, I have a regiment of Dracons. It's the brutal one out on the left with a troop of Silver Breeze behind, Battle Cats, Nimue, regiment of Seaguard, regiment of Silver Breeze, which um, deploy them sideways facing to the left because I didn't leave enough room in between, but I definitely wanted them over here, so just deployed them facing sideways. I was able to place the Dracons with their leader point in the forest so they can see out. Battle Cats in the center so they can go kind of either way I want. Horde of Seaguard over here protecting one of these guys. Regiment of Silver Breeze, the Dracon character. regiment of Dracons and Bolt Thrower out here. So, and Matt has on the right, he has a Rhinosaur Cav with 2 hordes of Scorchwings. He has 2 of his Skylords behind, one behind the Rhinosaurs, one behind the Scorchwings here. He has 2 of his Commandants here, one of them on the left. Other Rhinosaur unit, Lancers, Rakaz, Horde of Primes, and the last Skylord over here. So, yeah, he did split deployment, which I think works well in this particular scenario. I also did a split deployment. I didn't want to deploy anything in the exact center just because of how open it was, but um, I think it was maybe a mistake. It would have been nice to be able to threaten the right hand side of the board from something coming up here, but either way, I uh, I feel pretty good about defending one of these tokens. I'm probably going to let the one on the far right go, but defend the one on the left here. I think I have a good amount of shooting to be able to pressure these hordes of Scorchwings. Be able to shoot some of them out of the way over a course of a couple turns. And then, I have 2 nimble units out here, hopefully going to get some good positioning. So the tokens, he has 2 on the right, 1 on the left. I have 2 on the left and 1 actually on the far right that he is touching or on top of over here. So yeah, my goal is to hopefully he pushes forward aggressively over here with these units. I can fly over with the Dracons, being unit strength 2, and pop the token that's over there. If he only has like a Skylord defending it or something, or if he chooses not to defend it at all. But my thought is that he's going to have to keep something back there if he doesn't want me to have that possibility. So I felt like I was actually outnumbering him on the right hand side here, even though he has a fair amount of units. My horde is not something that he can easily move with just these units as well. So, and then on the left, I feel like this is just going to be a punch in the mouth type engagement over here. But I have more units and my Dracons are here, so I want to try to make sure those Dracons have as many rounds of combat as possible in this particular situation. And then all I need to do is have something pop through. If I kill this horde of infantry, it's going to be really easy for me to jump on one, if not both, of these tokens over the course of the game here. So, yeah, feel pretty strong, feel pretty confident. Really wish I had first turn. Raze is probably one of the most punishing scenarios if you don't get first turn. Yeah, so he gets first turn. He moves up like so. He's very aggressive with Rakaz, which I don't blame him. There's some plays for me, but we'll see. And then, he moves the rest of them up just little by little over here. No need to really go wild at this point. And over here, he moved up pretty basic. 7 inches, I think it was. So his shooting, Commandants. I already like them. Well, I don't like them in this game, but they hit 4. He only had 2 in the center, and both of them shot at this unit. He hit 4 out of the 6 shots, needing 5s, and he does like 10 wounds with those. They blast D3 +1. The +1's just ridiculous on top. So And then, he rolled a little low for his hordes of scorched wings. They should probably do about 4 or 5 wounds themselves, and they only did 2. But he gets the waiver, so, 21, 23, if he rolls a 9 or a 10 and waivers the horde, which is really bad. Top of turn 1, really bad. I don't get the ability to shoot. I don't get the ability to get in the positions I want to protect the tokens. So we're gonna have to change plans on bottom of turn 1 because of that bullshit right there. So yeah, so we get a little aggressive. I feel like we have plays still, but yeah. So Rakaz being as aggressive as he was, yeah, I'm not a fan of the play. I see kind of the idea because on average, between both of these units here, because I popped the J boots, so I have 27 attacks, hitting on threes with elite. So that should be 18 plus the elite rolls. That should be somewhere around 21 hits on averages. And then um, wounding on 3, so we should be at like 14 wounds. This is the brutal unit, so we should be at a 15 effectively, and then we need a 5 twice to break root cause. I'm okay with it because even if I don't break root cause, he's going to be very likely wavered, preventing anything from getting into the Dracons here. Because the one thing that potentially could is the Skylord into the flank, but moved up the dogs to protect that. Um, and I'll sacrifice a regiment of the Dracons at this point to keep my guys going. Um, yeah, so I actually feel like this is just a better position for me at this point because Rakaz is one of the hardest things for me to deal with, and I can never do a one-on-one, and if I try to pump shooting into it, it just feels bad. So, and I don't have enough time with this scenario and in this game. I'm already on the back foot. My shooting, I don't have all of my shooting potential, shooting power out here. So yeah, I elected to go for the attack straight away, which is a slight gamble, but it's in my favor. And then we go for an even bigger gamble out here, which just because of our situation we're in, it's not even a gamble. I think it's just the best play. Delaying does nothing. He can burn the tokens anyway. So I want to get get some damage out there, get some kills, and if I kill this horde of Dracons, I'm just in a pretty good spot or sorry, not Dracons, horde of Scorchwings. I'm in a pretty good spot. His Rhinosaur Cav can't see me. I'm out of his front arc. So then, at worst, I'm taking a Skylord and a horde of Scorchwings to the front. But I'm inspired. It's not even a guarantee that they kill me. Um, and I just hope I can get this horde to do something for the game. But we will see. My bolt thrower did nothing. So, yeah. So for shooting, we're shooting at the horde, I think it is. Doing a little bit of damage here and there because we can, more or less. And I was able to also get in range with the Alchemist Curse onto him too, which I think I did 0 wounds the first turn with Alchemist Curse. I think I had 2 hits and then I rolled 2 1s to wound. So yeah, not looking great. Not a great start, but we did get lucky with the combat. Well, I say lucky. We rolled extremely low. I think we only did 11 wounds to Rakaz when we should do like 14 or 15. With the brutal, we're effectively at 12. We do get the 8 twice. Thank God. Um, so Rakaz does get picked up on a low damage roll but high nerve rolls. So we're in business, boys. We do waiver this Dracon or Scorchwings. I'm gonna say Dracons. It's Scorchwings. We do waiver the Scorchwings over here, which is nice. So on Matt's turn, he moves up like so. He's within 3 inches. He's going to burn that. He gets the Skylord in a good position. All is good in the world on this side of the board for Matt. Uh, Over here, my reforms, I wasn't able to prevent the Skylord from getting into the Dracons. Um, and I had to move the Battle Cats up to prevent that flank just in case I didn't break Rakaz. But it did allow him to get a charge with his horde. So hordes into the Battle Cats, that's an easy kill. The Lancers into the Regiment of Dracons, and they're not in inspiring range, so that should be an easy kill. And then chaffing up the horde. So, yeah. The one thing I did not expect to happen is Matt took this horde of Rhinosaur Cav on this side of the building. Um, yeah, I was expecting the Rhinosaur Cav to actually be like the second wave behind the Lancers and just play cleanup crew over here. I just don't really see the point coming this way, but I do have some guys that could redeploy over this way, like the Silver Breeze. But I don't think they could really get out of range of these Scorchwings. And I'm running right into the firing lane of his Commodons. I don't know. It just took me off guard. I expected the battle to just be between the impassable and the board edge here, and it just be a grind out. And even though I have more units, he would take out a good chunk of my guys. So, yeah. So I felt actually a lot better about this flank when this Rhinosaur unit went this way. His shooting did 2 more wounds with the Commodons, which he has a good roll, he has a bad roll, but then he still wavers me. So these guys just aren't longed for the world. He does kill the regiment as expected, and he does kill the battle cats as expected. So, yep, perfectly fine with that. Over on the right, he does kill the regiment of Dracons over here. And this is his positioning now. So going into my turn 3, this is how the board looks, and this is what we end up doing. So let's get a little closer here. Maybe not. Didn't take close up. So on the left, we just get in position to shoot the horde. It's already up to 7, 8 wounds, something like that. 6 wounds, maybe it was after the first turn. Yeah. So, and then we decide to double charge. No, we just single charge these guys. Yeah. I healed the wounds with Nimue off of the horde. Again, I need this horde. I identified I need this horde to pull its weight this game. So I'm in position to where the Lancers, if they charge the Cav regiment, it's hindered. And then I need a 2-inch backup from the Drakon Horde after killing the Skylord to get into the forest and make it to where it's also a hindered charge. The Battle Cats ran out of front arc, so we don't have to deal with Rhinosaurs this turn. And we're getting in prime position to chaff up because the Rhinosaurs are going to be in position to charge next turn to the Dracons, so we need to buy them 1 turn to blow through the Lancers ideally. And then we'll be able to either charge the rhinosaurs or get out of dodge. So over on the right, I move up the Silver Breeze first and get in position to shoot. I want to shoot the Sky Lords at this point, and I charge the already damaged again. There I go again. Scorch Wings units. So again, this gets me out of front arc of the rhinosaurs. We also back up with the horde, so we're out of charge range. Force him to shoot me if he's going to shoot me. So not the worst position, but he has already burnt one token. He will get another one. There's nothing I can really do about it. And we still have to fight through the left flank to get to our tokens. So this is Matt's turn 3. Yeah, it's a quick game. Turn 3. So yeah, he on the right he charged the bolter, which again did nothing for the 2 turns that it shot. Just absolutely nothing. The rhinosaurs didn't charge, but they ran forward as quickly as they could. They're within 3 inches. They're going to burn this because the commandants finished off the horde. Yep. After that first turn shooting, it didn't take much. So moves forward into the middle, angles to where he's going to get some sight and charges next turn over here. And then I did waver the horde with all of my shooting. His shooting took off the troop of Silver Breeze that was sitting up here. Lone Commandant just 1 shot, or 3 shots technically. I think he hit all 3 times with this one. It was just ridiculous, some of the things he was doing. So, but yeah, we luckily we wavered this unit. There is no inspiring over here now that we've removed the Skylord from the situation. We did get the 2-inch backup, so it is a hindered charge here. So we're sitting in a pretty good spot on this side. I feel pretty confident at this point. Over on the right, we also did kill the horde of Scorchwings. And then he's double charging me here, as we kind of expected. So I think our shooting did like 3 wounds to the Skylord, so he's in prime position to hopefully pick up, take out, knock down. But yeah, we'll see here. And he killed the bolt thrower. So this is what it looks like going into my turn 3. And I just realized I made a huge mistake, actually. The Drakon character could have just flown over. I don't think he's within 3 inches of this token here. I made a big mistake, guys. I went for the kill. He wavered this unit. I absolutely 100% should have flown over, blown up this token with the Drakon this turn. That is a huge mistake on my part that I did not see that and do that play. Frustrating. Anyway, on the left, we got the combats we want. So he came in, did 6 wounds, 7 wounds, something like that. He was hindered, so it's about average. I think 5 wounds is average, but either way. And then we triple charge. So we got everybody involved over here. We are going hunting for Commandants now. That is the name of the game for the rest of the game for these 2 guys. We hate Commandants with a passion. And then we decide we're better at combat than we are at shooting, and this is the only unit going to be in here. So we just go ahead charge. If we get a decent overrun, we can blow up that token this turn. So yeah. And so everything goes well on the left flank as we were hoping. We overrun like 1 inch. Yeah, sucks. We needed like 4 or 5 inches, I think, but oh well. Then the reforms over here, we had to sidestep the Silver Breeze in order to allow room for the Dracons to pivot. We backed up with the Battle Cats, and then the Dracons reformed like so, making it to where there's no way his Rhinosaurs can actually fit into our front here. So, yay, Battle Cats, taking the charge. Um, yes. And then over here, we really fail again. Um, Yeah, this Drakon character couldn't kill a Goblin Whiz that already was wounded. He sure as hell isn't killing a Skylord that's already wounded this game. It was a hindered charge. We're not getting our Rampage, granted, but man, that guy is already on like 3 or 4 wounds. So we did like 2 more wounds, which is average, you know. And I think we get a waiver at least. We get a waiver. So, yeah. Um, yeah, so this is Matt's turn 4. He takes the obvious charge onto the Battle Cats. Oh, we did kill the Commandant with the shooting, which is definitely good. He decides that shooting is better off for him, so he'll shoot his horde into the regiment, which again was wavered, so it's at like 8, 9 wounds or something like that. So, and then he brings his rhinos back towards the middle because that's where the game's gonna be, fighting over that last token. And Skylord's coming along too. He kills the regiment as we expected. So, yeah. So I think Matt saw this. He's like, "Yeah, I need to protect that token. I can't let Adam just fly over and have it. I'm just uh frustrated with myself. I'm an idiot. Should have seen it. Anyway, and then he shoots Commandants at these guys. He did 7 wounds with 2 Commandants onto these guys, and I thought I was going to lose them. And I think he wavered the unit. No, he didn't waver the unit. No, that's a mistake. But or yes, he did waver the unit. Yeah, now I remember because on my turn 4, I moved forward to burn that token, and I had to actually nimble pivot and back up out of this unit's front arc. Otherwise, I wasn't gonna be able to. I was gonna get charged and killed. The Dracons, they decide fly over the buildings better than a hindered charge on undamaged rhinos. We'll deal with them later. I know what they're trying to do. They want this token, which we'll see if we get them there. We still have a token to burn, so I think I was able to get in range. I forget. Either way, I'll get it next turn if I'm not. And we try to kill a Skylord again. Shooting wise, we kill the next Commandant. Thankfully, we're shooting well with the guys that are built to shoot. So, oh, but yeah, we don't kill the Skylord in our turn. I think we do another 2 wounds. I swear the Skylord's up to like 7 wounds or something like that now. Maybe 8. I don't know. I needed like a 6 twice or 5 twice and just didn't get it. It's just not our day over on that right flank. That's for sure. So now he's flanking me, but yeah. So Matt moved. He moved these guys up. I have been shooting at these guys. I think a little bit with something, or Cloak of Death went off on them, something like that. And so he's moving up just to be in position to get this token. I can't charge him with the Sea Guard. Yeah, and he marched his Skylord, I believe, to get up here into the woods. So, um, yeah. So not a whole lot left on turn 5. Turn top 5 here. So it's pretty quick at this point. Um, he kills the Drakon character and turns the face towards the middle. Yep. And the last thing he did was he moved his Commandant over here. He shot at the horde of Drakons and got a hit. but luckily didn't. He either didn't do a wound or he did just did a wound and didn't waver. So we see an unsupported Rhinosaur units over here, and we say, well, let's try to kill that unit. So no inspiring. We're hoping for some good shooting. We got this unit. We got this unit. So we have all of our shooting focusing on the unit in the middle because that's the token we need. I do not have faith that we'll be able to defend this token, so we're giving him the option to charge the unit of the regiment of Seaguard over here, but he wants that token. I know that for sure. So, and we burnt the two on the left. So it's 2-2 token wise right now. He's controlling the center. After we hit this Commodon, our goal is we have options depending on how the shooting goes. We can reform in such a way that he's not going to be able to see us. We're going to be off the back of the woods. So we're going to be safe with the Horde of Drakons. Or we can, if we kill him, we can reform in a better way so that we can get onto this token the next turn. So, yeah. So, yep. Shooting. Oh, boys, we did it. I forget how much damage I did, but like I said, it just takes one good nerf roll to be able to pick up that unit. So we got it. That's huge. The center is prime position for us to take. He's going to get that last token. We have control of the center, in my opinion, at this point. So it's looking like it's going to be a draw more than a loss, which I'm definitely fighting for a draw at this point. There's no way I can win, so need that draw as badly as we can get it. So top six going over to Matt. He moves in certain ways, and this is after my movement, but he takes his Skylord over to burn the token. Yep, good play. He had to move over 10, so he's not shooting with them. He turns the Rhinosaur Cav around to face towards the center, which I think is definitely a good play. And then he flew his horde as far as it could go without being seen by the Drakons. And his character came up to try and give them inspiring. So he had no shooting. It was just a really quick turn. And then on my turn, yeah, he's within 3 inches here with the unit strength 3. So the Silver Breeze won't do. Just the Drakons won't do. I need both of them there. So I have to play for a gamble at this point because these Rhinosaurs, even though I'm hitting them in the flank, I'm not going to break them on averages. Yeah, so I go for the win on turn 6 here. I put both units over here. And I, defend as best as I can. The Silver Breeze charge, they weren't able to get within 3 inches and get shooting off on the Horde. Even if they were, I think it's probably best that I don't do that play anyway. I think charging and removing their Thunderous, even though I effectively just lose elite in that situation, I think it's just a better choice for me. I move around to Alchemist Curse the character, and I have to defend these guys as much as I possibly can because this is the unit strength that's going to win me the game. So I charge the flank to strip the Thunderous. I put Nimue an inch away as a roadblock. My thought being is that he's going to be hindered and he has no Thunderous, so he's 18 attacks, hitting on 3s, wounding on 3s because he has Crush 1. There's a possibility in some world that he doesn't actually break Nimue, inspiring, whatnot. On averages, he probably needs like a 5 twice or something. Um, even if he does break Nimue, he needs over an inch overrun to hit the Dracons, and maybe he snake eyes them because they're sitting at like 6 or 7 wounds right now. Uh, so turn 7 is not what I want to see. I shoot. I do take off the character over here. Combat. I actually waver the horde here, which is definitely awesome. Um, yeah, that's amazing. And I do a couple wounds to this unit here, and luckily enough, this is where it ends. Um, so it's a draw. I burned 2, and I controlled the center. He burnt 3. So in the end, a 10-10 draw, but I had more attrition than him, so by 500, a little over 500 points. So it was just over for an 11-9 win for me. And then the rest of my team, though, Shannon pulled out a win, which was great. He was playing Dominate, and he won by 1 unit strength. Um, and they had murdered each other so much. But Eric and Roger had some rough games, some unfortunate luck. It sounded like for Eric, and then Roger played against Alan, I believe, and this this team. We'll go over the list in a different video, but between this team had 2 forces of nature lists, and both of them took triple greater air elementals. So this was definitely a hard one for sure, and it shows in the results. So the Nerdhammer boys, they take some points off of us. So in total, we had, was that 25, 30? We had 36. And they were able to get 16, so 32, and Allen would have had 15. So they would have got 47. So 36 to 47. We were ahead by 13, 15, something like that going into this round. So they caught up. We're still just barely ahead in first place, but they took some significant points off of us. So us getting that draw in the end, that's huge for the team in the end. Um, but really great team, really fun games. It sounds like all around, and like I said, these guys were some monsters, and they came to play. That's for sure. So I definitely underestimated Matt's army. Like I said, Raze was not the right choice. Just playing it back, looking at it, obviously in hindsight. There had to have been a better scenario for me to pick against his army. Um, but Matt played it extremely well. I definitely made some mistakes, and kind of after day 1 here, I'm sitting at 1-1-1, and out of my team, I'm the lowest in battle points by a pretty fair margin at this point. So I feel like I'm getting carried by the rest of the team here, and it is definitely not where we want to be with our elf list. So you know, time to regroup. That was the end of day 1. Gotta get some ideas going for day 2. The team as a whole, I think, is working well, but I think I could be doing better and helping the team out more. So, got to rethink some strategy. Got to come out swinging tomorrow in round 4. So, that's going to do it for this one. I appreciate you guys watching, and I hope that you take a look at Game 4 Crossroads, which should be out shortly. So, thanks, everybody. See you.